Welcome back to Satisfactory Project Nuclear Overdrive. I'm just going to say it weirder and weirder every episode. Don't mind it. Today is a pretty simple episode. And when I say simple, I mean simple in comparison to the rest of this factory build. Last episode, we built the aluminum factory, and it is working very well. We also built some radio control units. It is working splendidly. So that's all in this building here. Pretty massive building, if I may say so myself, but we utilize the space pretty well. This episode, we are going to be doing two things. We're going to make fused modular frames using the heat fused frame alternate recipe that requires heavy modular frames, aluminum ingots, nitric acid, and fuel. And guess what? We have all of that. All that we need to do is route it here. We just need to make sure we get it here. And then, once we make the fused modular frames, we can then make the pressure conversion cubes. So that'll be fused modular frames and radio control units. So yeah, we need this step first before we can do this step, which is completely fine. So let's talk about how much we need. If I go to organization, we can get a sign out, and I can tell you exactly how many of these I need. So, fused modular frames, I need 14.933 blenders, which isn't a lot in comparison to some of the other things I've done. And then pressure conversion cubes, I need 44.8. And that's quite a bit, but that's not too bad. So yeah, 14.933, we make 3 per minute. That is 44.8, which is exactly how many pressure conversion cubes we are going to be making. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I will set up the fused modular frames. I'll probably make another level to this, but not as big. And I'll route everything over here, and we can come back together. We can get everything hooked up and ready to go. It's going to be kind of annoying because we got 2 different fluids that we got to connect, but it's fine. So yeah, let me do that, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, I have figured some stuff out, and I got a bunch of stuff ready to put into these blenders here. And this is how I set up the blenders. They look super clean. I actually was able to set it up cleanly this time. But yeah, it's pretty simple to actually set them up clean. You just put one layer of pipes on the bottom, you shift one set of pipes above it on the same level, just offset it far enough back so it can go down. Pretty simple. And then you do one set of belts on the, like you just set one of these to that exact height, and then the next one you go up 2. And that's your 4 layers of blenders. Pretty simple, pretty easy. So I did get my nitric acid in this blue line here, and that one I had to take a little bit from a couple other lines here. So the yellow line is there, that goes to the distilled silica factory. I needed to grab 20 off of there because I'm producing more than enough to do that. And then the gray line is down there, and I was producing enough to be able to grab 40 off of that. So over there I just set up some valves and just pulled off like 40 and 20 off of them, and I combined it to this one line. So this note is no longer needed, but that is just what happened there. And then the fuel all comes from the oil processing. You can see the green pipe there. The green pipe I just took from the top of the building. So the head lift is actually all the way up there. So I needed 0 pumps to bring it up this way, which is really nice. The nitric acid I needed pumps, but the fuel I needed none. So we might as well connect these up and get them going. And we'll see they're starting to fill up with fuel and nitric acid. That's beautiful. Then I brought in the heavy modular frames from way over there on the top floor. And it just comes out on here. and then comes over here. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I just had to grab it and bring it over here. Wasn't too difficult. So we'll submit the heavy modular frames into this system as well. And then the last thing is I split these into 2 different groups. Apparently my note didn't delete. That's kind of annoying. Okay. Did it delete now? Yes. Alright. So yeah, our aluminum, this line here is going to take 1200. Because 150 by 8 is 1200. And then this line here is going to take the, what is it? 150 by 7 plus, I don't even remember what the last one is. Let me go check real quick. The last one is 140. So that one's going to be 1190. That seems off. Oh, shoot. No, sorry. That is by 6. 1040. That's right. Yep, that's right. Because I have 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at 100%. And the last one is at 93.333%. So, yeah, 1040 sounds better than what I had before. So all I got to do is come down here and just connect up these belts. I have them all set up and ready. So, pretty simple. Just boom and boom, and then we should be making fused modular frames pretty dang soon. In fact, there we go. We are making fused modular frames. That's pretty simple. So all we got to do is merge all these together, and then we got to make the pressure conversion cubes, which I figured we could do that together because it's really not that difficult. And if we don't do it together, we're going to be having a really short episode. So I might as well show you my process for how I build things, and you can kind of get an idea for what I do. So this is pretty simple. It's just a bunch of mergers. Then I'm going to use Mark V conveyor belts. I don't need to use it, but it'll just move quicker, so it's fine. I could use Mark 1s for these, honestly, but let's just make them quicker. We'll just move them quicker. Now we can decide what color we want to make these. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's line this up with that, so we know it's that center line there, and then connect up. So yeah, we can kind of figure out the color we want. I might stick with the purple color that my aluminum and heavy modular frames have stuck with, so I'll probably go with that. I don't need that one. And that's as simple as picking my swatch. I'll press G to lock the blender so I'm not coloring everything under the sun. And then I'll lock in the merger so we're not coloring everything under the sun again. And then we'll lock the belts, and we'll color all the belts too. Oh, look at that, some fused modular frames. Alright, so that's that. I figured we can do the pressure conversion cubes right up here too. That'll be pretty easy. We need 44.8 assemblers of that, so we'll have a line of 22 and a line of 23, and the last one will be 0.8. So we'll start down at this end just to make it simpler. Let's see, we'll leave a 2 block or 2 gap here. And that's fine with me. Then we'll grab, as soon as my autosave finishes, pressure conversion cubes. So, yep, that's good. And then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. That looks good to me. Yep. And then we'll just color these purple as well. Might as well. It's not a big deal. So we need 22 on this side. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Just enough room. Look at that. That's beautiful. We're not going to have quite enough room for 23 unless we adjust some of this, which we could definitely do. That's crazy how we had just enough room. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yep, everything lines up. Let's get rid of that. We'll adjust this so it works out. The last one's gonna go here. We're gonna set it for 80%. And then we can drag this so that it works out nicely. And there we go. So then we're just going to do everything in Mark 5 because we don't need to do anything else. We're going to set up these. Oh, that's not where I wanted it. We're going to set up these all along here. All the way down. Ah, dang it. I missed. That's what you get for trying to rush. So we got that. And then we'll line them up on the same side. Completely fine with me. And we'll just go all the way down the line. And there we go. We're going to put this one on the outside because it'll be easier. Trust me on that one. We'll put a splitter. Well, first, I guess we're going to want to figure out where to line up the splitter. And that should be fine, because we're going to need to set up Mark 5s, and that should still be enough room for a belt there, which is good. And then we'll set up a splitter there. So, what's going to happen is we'll set it up like that, and like that. We'll make sure everything is right. We can actually color all of these now. Well, no, we can't. Let's decide to get the radio control units are somewhere over here. So we're just going to send them down this way. I think that'll be the best way to do that. So let's start here. I don't remember what color the radio control units are. So we're going to do this. And we'll have a splitter like that to accept the radio control unit. So eventually it'll all work out. Then we just gotta set up a whole splitter line all the way down. Keep it as simple as possible. I think I missed. I did. Alright, that's fine. So this has been basically the story of my life. I missed. And then we'll probably set up a merger here because it'll just be easier if we do. And then we'll do splitters again this way. And we'll go back the other direction. So we gotta find out where our radio control units are so we can drag them up here. And I roughly have an idea of where they're at. But once we get these splitters in place, we can get that situated. Almost there. There we go. We're gonna have an autosave here pretty soon, so that'll take a hot minute. Yep, there we go. And let's just go straight down. Let's see what happens. Alright. Radio control units are all over here, which is fine. Let's, they're black. Okay, that's good to know. Let's just figure out where that is at over here. Alright, so that is dead center on this one. It would actually be fine to go up all the way through. That would be totally fine. So we're looking at this one here. Let's put in, not there, conveyor lift hole right there. That's perfect. So now we got to go back underneath. And I'll grab the Mark V lift. And then we come back up here. And the reason why we want to do that... Oh, shoot. That's not going to work. Okay. That's fine. We'll pop over this. And then I can delete that. That doesn't matter. And then we're going to put this in a place we know is not a problem. Which would be... Sure, let's just say right there. And then we come up here. And there we go. So that won't be a problem. And then we just gotta grab the Mark V belts. That'll work. And that'll work. So there we go. We got our radio control units there. And now we have accessibility to our pressure conversion cubes. So why don't we just connect these up? This will be no problemo. There we go. I'm gonna cover up these holes again so they're not distracting. I better put in the floor hole, otherwise somebody's gonna tell me I didn't put in a floor hole. There we go. That's fine. Alright, so there's that. I want to connect these up first because it'll be easier to set up the belts on this and then do the top layer afterwards. So let's start with that. Then we just drag it all the way down here. Yeah, this world is so much stuff in it that it's a little bit laggy sometimes. So if it is, sorry, my bad. I'm trying to actually finish this. We're getting close. We're getting really close to finishing this. Then we'll do that there. And we'll connect everything up there. Did you see how difficult that was for me to get it? I mean, it was possible. It just was easier to not have to worry about that. And the last connection there. There we go. Beautiful. And then we're going to need to put in splitters up here. So we'll do splitters all along the top here. And the reason why I can't color the lift beforehand is because there's a bug in the game that changes the color of the lift when you put a splitter or a merger or anything on it. So that's kind of annoying. So I have to do those later. And then the last one, we'll do a closed circuit. But here I could technically do it, so now I could paint everything. And it wouldn't be a problem. So we might as well. While we're here, might as well. So now we just got to take our modular frames and send them down the line. Whoopsies. There we go. So now what we need to do is we need to power all of it. So we're going to drag our power line. I'm just going to bring it down here because it's a lot easier to set up. Then we just hook up 8 of these. Oh, you suck. Alright, that's fine. We'll hook up 8 of these. This first one will probably just do 7. And then we'll try to find the middle here, right there. And there we go, they're all powered. So, all of our pressure conversion cubes are getting produced. Now all we need to do is merge them all together. And they'll be ready to be shipped to the next episode building. Because next episode we are building plutonium fuel rods. So let's set up all of these and then we're good to go. So now we can just hook up all of these. Alright, we'll wait for the autosave. I have the autosave to every 5 minutes because if I don't and the game crashes, I could lose a lot of progress. So 5 minutes is good. I mean, just look at how much progress we made in 5 minutes. We already got this built and everything. So we'll send this here. And then we probably want to do a Mark V lift. And where's that at? On this line here. To there. Beautiful. And now we'll connect all these up. Look at all those pressure conversion cubes. They're getting produced, that's for sure. And we're almost done here. Oh no. That's fine. It'll just be in my inventory for no reason. And there we go. That is the pressure conversion cubes. So, where are they? I know I have some. Oh, I got some copper in there. There they are. I don't need them. Cool. Alright, so that's basically the factory. The only thing that's left is to decorate it, and we might as well keep the same decoration as what this building already is, so we'll just grab that from below. I can show you the process for this too. So I got the blueprint here ready to go. And then we'll just line it up on the side here. And then it's too big here, so we'll grab the smaller one. Which, now I gotta figure out where it's at. It is double indent wall single. We'll switch it to blueprint mode, and we'll just build that. There we go. So this one should technically... Why didn't that snap? There we go. Alright. So we gotta move this in place. So it should be right there. Just make sure that's in place. This one will actually go all the way across, which is nice. We actually used quite a bit of space here too. That was great. So it does take 408 steel beams, which is crazy. I did set up a temporary steel beam factory just to do this wall. That's crazy. It's crazy that this needed a whole temporary steel beam factory to do this wall. But yeah, you can see how long it takes, so... Yeah, I mean, we're here. So that's basically how I've been building a lot of these walls, has been making blueprints for them. So now you kind of get the idea of how I've been doing this. If the wall is simple, then I'll do it by hand, but there's no point in doing it by hand if you can just place down blueprints. Why wouldn't you? Especially when it's as complicated as this, making a blueprint for this is a lot better than doing this by hand every time. This takes me not so much time. As you can see, we built 45 assemblers, and we built the wall to this in about 30 minutes. Like, that's pretty good. That's good timing on a factory. Like, this is a massive factory in and of itself, so the fact that we were able to handle this within a 30-minute time frame is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. So we'll just have to kind of finish this out and then knock out the wall and stuff, so we're almost there. Almost there. There we go. Alright, so all I need to do is knock out the two offenders. That'll be these two, and this, and that. That wasn't technically offending anything, but that's fine. And then I want to make a doorway that lines up with the elevator, so that's this one here. And that technically isn't offending anything, so let's go here. Let's go door, and let's plop the door in. And we'll paint it purple, and that is it. That's it. Pretty easy, right? That's awesome. So this building's done now, I'm pretty sure. And this episode is basically done. So what are we doing in the next episode? We are doing two things. And they both require assemblers, which is nice. So the two things we are going to be doing is instant plutonium. Where's that? Not that. Not that. Is that it? Non-fissile. No, where is it? Do I not have it? Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, let's look up. I don't have my buttons. What happened to my buttons? Oh, jeez. And plutonium. Should be instant plutonium cells, which is in a particle accelerator. Oh, I just have it written down wrong. Okay. So it's not this. It is particle accelerator. I have it written down wrong in my notes. So I'm actually looking to do this right here. So that's the non-fissile uranium and aluminum casings. So, yeah, my bad on that one. Whoopsies. We need 44 point... Oh my goodness. I need 45 of these. That's huge. So, yeah, that's my bad. I had it written down as assembler. It is actually a particle accelerator. I might as well change that now in my notes so I don't mess it up later. And then here, we're going to be doing the plutonium fuel unit, which is this step, the encased plutonium cells, mixed with the pressure conversion cubes, which is what we just finished up. So, yeah, next episode's not too bad because we already got the uranium. We just made the aluminum in this building, the aluminum casings down below. The plutonium will come from here, and the pressure conversion cubes is actually being made in this building as well. So everything we need for the plutonium is in this building or that building. That's nice. So yeah, that is it for this episode. Next episode, get ready for some particle accelerator action. We are finally getting there. Finally. And then we can actually kick on the nuclear power plant. Did you know that? We'll actually be able to activate the nuclear power plant. We can make it run once we get this step going, which is incredible. That's going to be amazing. We won't be able to run the plutonium fuel rods yet, but we can sink any excess plutonium fuel rods, which means we can let the uranium run. That'll be awesome. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you in the next one.